What is going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. And as I promised, always a part 2 to the series that we're doing in terms of DePIN. And let's get it, guys. Smash a like. A lot of planning goes into these videos. And I'm going to continue for the micro caps, for sub $100 million projects. This is where a lot of money will be made. And let me rank these DePIN projects. Let's look at their on-chain analysis. The first one I'm going to look at is Phala Network. Now, if you remember back in December, this had a massive pump on the announcement of the Binance listing. It just went vertical, crashed back down to earth, right now sitting at a mature market cap where you can actually attract whales. It's on Binance, fantastic tokenomics, relatively amazing volume, 52 million. That is incredible. This is a top tier project for this bull cycle. I think Phala Network does get a very high score for me. And in terms of on-chain, let's look at token god mode. Distribution, of course, always a concern. Centralized, you've got 18,000 holders, 53%, nearly 54% of the supply is held by the top 100 wallets. Well concentration, but relatively to what we saw, not the worst at all. Top 100 balance has been going up marginally. Smart money has also been buying up by 3%. And they have 26 public figures. So all in all, whale money as well, coming in a little bit, zero there. Public figures, zero there. This project has been, the balance has been going up to the right, while the price has been even coming down and staying under the balance. This is a very, very good sign. I do like their distribution. It's not the worst I've seen. Therefore, these guys get a tick on market cap. They get an excellent tick, plus a thumbs up on the volume. Marketing, I would probably say I haven't seen too many marketing. They're on the Ethereum chain. So marketing, you know, I'm happy with the marketing. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to get KOLs, and that is going to be the way they're going to market this. Of course, exchanges. This is absolutely excellent, right? They can actually add Coinbase, but it's a star. So we'll give them a star for that. Holders, I'd probably say holders are a bit, at the moment, not quite up there. Very, very small in terms of holder count. However, like I said before, that works out to be the project's favor, especially it goes hand in hand with the marketing. So currently, holders is not at a satisfactory level, of course, but it is still very, very decent no matter what. 18,000 is nothing to be sniffed at, but I would want to see this going above at least 50,000 in the short term, of course, and then to pump it. Now, in terms of is it decentralized enough? Well, 50%, to be honest, the tokenomics are good, but I'm happy with that. I give them a thumbs up for that. All right. The next one is OctaSpace. Now, Octa is a small project that's not going to have dilution or any of these things. And again, I do like, you know, the founder is a very good friend of mine. Big up yourself if you are watching this, Tarek. And we were supposed to be having an AMA, but with smaller project, you know, we just never aligned our times. But this had a monumental 2023 and 2024. So when there's liquidity in the market, this is guaranteed to go over $1. And this was very, very stubborn. For those of you who know, this was incredibly stubborn, above like $1.50 for a very long time. Now, of course, it's its own layer one. OctaSpace is building, you know, something quite unique. You've got DePIN of all kinds. You've got rendering. This is a very, very good project. Unfortunately, just like we were talking last night with Alfium and Oort, a lot of projects didn't get the help of the market, but this has held relatively strong for very, very long times. And of course, they have a marketplace. There's lots of stuff. I'll do the AMA. This is a booming marketplace you can see here. And Tarek is a very, very good guy. Let's have a look at the distribution here if we can get it up. Of course, we want to look at the on-chain, OctaSpace. And what you're going to notice with OctaSpace is, of course, a very small amount of holders. Distribution score is very, very good. It scores 23. There you see there. Top 100 hold a 50 plus. Again, Phala was 53. This is 58. Of course, fresh wallets are buying as well, 0.4. As you have the balance of the top 100 increasing, but still we don't have smart wallet public figures and of course exchange balances. But that's not to take away from the fact that the project can actually do incredible amount of exits. So in my opinion, this is how I'm going to score this. Do we have a relatively small market cap for maximum gains? Yes. Do we have the volume? Well, the volume's not really, because the volume is very low, and that's not fault of their own. Where's my volume? Yeah. So volume, this goes for all of the smaller projects. Right now, the volume is just not in there. Marketing, I think I'm looking forward to doing the AMA, right? I'm doing an AMA. So if Tarek is out and about and he's doing an AMA, and he does these AMAs quite often, I'm going to give them a very good score here, because as far as they can, without physically having to pay these stupid KOLs thousands of tokens and wreck the project, I think the way they go about it with people like myself who have open door policy, invite projects in, support good projects on my behalf, I think that's going to be very, very good. Tokenomics is going to get a star, in my opinion. Why? Because it's all fully diluted. You know, we've got no issues with tokens. Total supply 40, circulating 40. Thank you very much. That's all she wrote. So they get an excellent score. This project is pretty much dependent on liquidity. That's where the risk comes from. Apart from that, the team get a check. Chain, they have their own chain. It's a layer 1. Exchanges, well, I'm looking forward to more listings, right? As with everything else, listings cost money, right? But I'm going to give this a thumbs up. There are several exchanges. In fact, actually for a small project, Gate is excellent, right? Let's not be too picky here. So they do have Gate.io, which is good enough for me. Gate will produce plenty of volume during the bull market. Holders count is low, of course, but there's an opportunity there to have more holders through marketing. The tech is absolutely solid. I'll give a star on the tech, and relatively good decentralization, in my opinion, same as Phala, and nothing to worry about apart from that. Now, the next one I'm going to look at is AO the computer. Now, AO is AI and DePIN at the same time, built on Arweave. In my opinion, this is one of the best AI DePIN projects, and it comes under the DePIN category if you're looking at on CoinGecko. But AO right now has 4 million in circulation. So the way they, mint the tokens is very, very good. I do love the fact that AO has had a listing on Bybit. The volume just went nuts. Since then, they've had Gate.io, of course, Bybit, Mexi, Orbit, L-Bank, all of the small ones. Now, this is going to be subject to the performance of Arweave. The use cases here are endless. I think Sam Williams and the team have done a tremendous job. Hyper-parallel computer, decentralized supercomputer. Now, AO the computer, let's see if because it's AO. It would not come up here, but I can definitely tell you tokenomics get a very good thumbs up. The volume is very low for a small project, but this is a chance to get early, because I think once this is running with Arweave, I think it's going to do at least a couple of $100, if not even more. In my opinion, the team is stacked. The product is amazing. You can put this on AI. You can put this on DePIN. So market cap, very low. Okay, that presents an opportunity to the upside. Volume-wise, volume's not there. Very small. Marketing, recently, I'm going to give them a thumbs up, because recently they've been marketing a lot on X. However, there hasn't been that massive drive that we need. But when that comes, the way they market in the AO ecosystem is completely different. So they'll get more KOLs, and this is going to be turning into a full star. In fact, actually, what I'll do with the marketing I will give it a watch, because watch this space on that marketing. I think that's going to be something that takes AO to the next level. Tokenomics is excellent. Excellent. Tokenomics score excellent. Chain, it's the Arweave chain. I like it. Thumbs up for that. And of course, why have I lifted this slightly? Perfect. And then what else are we looking at? What else are we looking at? In terms of exchanges, I think they've done a tremendous job of putting this onto Bybit. They do get a tick with that as well. Holders is probably something unknown, but they do get a tick on the exchanges front. Because I think sometimes people don't realize exchanges eat projects, right? So let's give them a nice thick and a thumbs up. Holders, I can't really confirm, but I suspect the holders are small. The tech is absolutely stacked. And of course, whether it's decentralized or not is something that I'm relatively still pulling the plug on and looking at the data. But I would assume anyway, the entire ethos is decentralization. Next one, let's go to one of the Becker tokens. Anyone protocol. So this is, this is a Crypto God John / Alex Becker token. Anyone protocol. A lot of people have made tons of money on this. This tremendous first run was just incredible. For the longest time ever, these had limited exchanges. It's now still on Uniswap, but Mexi, KuCoin, CoinX. And of course, market cap is under 100 million, 56 million, 71 fully diluted, 700K, less than a million. You'd notice a lot of projects are struggling for volume right now, but more so these particular projects. Now, let's go straight to token God mode on Nansen, and let's have a look at the distribution, because I'd be surprised if this is bad. So distribution here, holders 15,900, very small. Supply 35% by the top 100. It used to be more, but that's actually changed right now, purely because the top 100 is down by 0.1%. Negligible, in my opinion, but smart money is being obviously holding and buying, and that smart money is the likes of Crypto God John and Alex Becker. This token has 66 public figures, of course, and the whales are holding 1 million tokens solid. Now, what you would notice here is you'd notice the price dumped, but balances went up. In July, smart money was buying. Token price, 59 cents. They loaded on that. And then, of course, price continues to go down. But over here in August, what we're seeing is a swap between the price went up, but the volume, the balances went down. That means they took profit. And of course, again, now balances and price is crossing. So every time the price comes up, they dump a little. Every time the price comes up, they dump a little. So knowing that information, what we're going to do now is going to plot market cap, room for growth, right? So it gets a check. It's a small sub 50 million. Can it do 10, 20, 30, 50x, whatever? Still, again, some of these projects are risky. However, that is a tick. Volume, just like with the previous ones, it's just not there for small projects. If most of your volume is coming from Uniswap, then of course you ain't got the volume like Phala does. That's why I was saying to you guys, we've got to open our eyes and don't just fall in love with things. Look at things from multiple different directions. Marketing, they will get an absolute thumbs up because Becca, Crypto God John, them guys will talk about it. Tokenomics, I think it's fully diluted. Is it fully diluted? Well, almost, right? 100 million, good tokenomics, excellent tokenomics. So they were loaded up at 59 cents. We still have 71 cents. You notice, guys, these projects will be doing numbers, yet they still remain very small and the risk is ever present. So you've got to be mindful of that risk. But what we're going to do is a check on tokenomics. It's on ETH. It has relatively decent exchanges, but I'm watching for better because these guys are not pulling in any volume right now. right? Decent exchanges, thumbs up with a potential watch, because I don't think there's a lot of exchanges there, in my opinion. I'll actually just keep it on watch. Holders, it is sub 20,000 holders. And of course, that is very, very small, right? Very, very small in terms of the holders. I'd give them a thumbs up as well. But again, we need to see with Becca and Crypto God John and those guys should technically hold, bring in more people. So I would say X for now, but I'm watching. I'm watching to see if the project grows and whether they dump the balance every time the price goes up, because we are watching. Tech is decent. I mean, listen, I haven't used, there's a plethora of these projects that all claim different things. But what I like about this is the privacy narrative. And of course, you can see here, Candace Owens. This is pretty decent in terms of AI warfare technology being used against you. And of course, privacy, you know what XMR did. Tech-wise, I'm going to give them a very, very good, superb score, because that is an area and a narrative where the tech is going to be very, very important. Privacy is a key narrative. Decentralized, relatively, yes, I'm happy with it. It's not like the 80%, 91%, 75% concentration. I think it's one of the better ones of the smaller ones anyway. So I'm relatively happy with that. Next one is Alfium. Now, this project was sexy last year. Alfium. This was it's now Aleph Cloud. Aleph, for those of you who don't actually speak Arabic, means one, right? It's a brilliant name. $13 million market cap, fully diluted 36 million, very low trading volume, has fallen off massively. But guess what? It's on Gate, Coinbase, Mexi, KuCoin. Very good listings. But it's only doing 75,000 in volume from Coinbase. So when big money comes into Coinbase, then that is going to fly, in my opinion. I think it's got a very, very good isometrical bet to the upside. AI super cloud computer. Cloud leverages advanced cryptography hardware based on blah, 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 blah. Aren't they all? But this is one of the better ones, in my opinion, sub this level of market cap. So, exchanges. I think to be on Coinbase, you are a star. I do like that. The market cap is very small, $13 million for something that is a fundamental play on the Coinbase network. Volume is absolutely diabolical and they get an X, but I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that it's on Coinbase with 200K volume, but it's okay. I mean, total was 200K, so that is absolutely something that they can work on. In terms of marketing, I mean, it's not sexy, is it? Let's be honest. In terms of tokenomics, it still has some, it's not fully diluted. It's got 2x dilution there, but a lot of it could be for rewards. In fact, you know, instead of an X, I need to go and do some further homework on it. So I am watching in terms of that, because I do believe a lot of those tokens are on the ecosystem, for the ecosystem. On decent chains, we talked about exchanges, of course, and then if we take this and then do our forensics, what you would notice is, regardless of how much you love a project, you've got to really dot the I's and cross the T's as always. Alfium Cloud has how many holders? Let's have a look. 77% of the supply is held by the top 100, so it is centralized, in my opinion. You could see there. Top 100 balances have been increasing. Smart money has also increased their holdings. Public figures still hold a bit. And of course, whales holders. Now, what you would notice is they were dumping it here. And from this week onwards, you know, they started to hold, regardless of the price. When you see the token balance going up, it is genuinely a good sign. So Decent amount of holders. Let's go back to the holders. How many holders we got? Very, very tiny, you know, less than 10,000. So holders need to work on the holders, right? Not many people holding this. Tech gets a thumbs up. I mean, you know, who cares about cloud computing, you know, at the end of the day, and it is not decentralized. However, you might want to be betting on a bull market, just the hype or whatever the project can bring in, right? So yeah, if I was to buy that, I'd be happy enough to say, look, I know it's heavily concentrated, but it's not decentralized. All right. Next one is Orchid. Now, the thing with Orchid is Orchid was heavily pushed by influencers, and the tokenomics are just not looking good to me. If I just look at this, fully diluted is 2 billion, normal circulating market cap is 29 million. I'm missing something here. The trading volume is just $83,000. This is, by all means, you know, on the base chain, which I'm bullish on, but let's just be honest here, absolutely shit token. So if you agree with me that the tokenomics are shit, then why are people buying? Well, everybody's bullish on base. That could be one reason. The other reason could be your favorite influencer could be saying buy this because he's going to do 100x. But we want to look at this in a very fair, objective manner. Now, Nansen.ai labels wallets. I can tell who is a influencer, who's a whale, blah, 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 blah. But why the F would you want to hold something with a 95% whale concentration? The worst tokenomics with the worst supply held by the top 100. It's just beyond me, right? This is an absolute pile of shit. Smart money means these people that are promoting the project. Of course, public figures have dumped, and you can see here, look at this. So balance is up, price is down, and then of course balance, boom. As soon as the price went up, kapow. Again, there's what is this token? Yeah, this is all. These are all sales and extractions and whatnot. So this is not a sexy one, in my opinion. Again, it could do very well on base, of course. And this is where people are getting most of their, you know, kind of pumping. It could do well. Like, don't get me wrong. 70% of the world's economy is still tied. And of course, the centralization is my biggest problem. Everybody knows I'd buy shit coins on base. So I'm not trying to shit on you. Animoca brands, very good backing. Of course, could have ability to market even deeper, but we know 95% of the tokens are held by the top 100. Okay, on that note, market cap, well, market cap fully diluted is shit. Volume is also pretty crap, $80,000. It's not really good at all. Look, I've scored all of them, the exception of Phala there, so that's okay. Marketing, like I said, they do have KOLs. The KOLs will be able to push a lot of the nonsense. Tokenomics are a big no-no. Chain gets a star. This is on base, and you see in the likes of Animoca and all of those guys. Exchanges, did we look at exchanges, guys? Let's have a look at exchanges. Exchanges are pretty shit, in my opinion. Mexi is the only one. Shout out to Mexi, my partners. So yeah, they need to be on more exchanges, fam. You know, this is absolutely diabolical. And of course, if we have a look at the holders, 7,000 holders is shit. Listen, I love base. This could do 100x in my opinion, but so far, not gonna lie, it's not looking good. Orchid is building an external and collaborative sense of space in robotics and smart cities. Now, if you know for the first time ever, we've just had the robotics Olympics over there in the Far East. So as far as the narrative is concerned, I haven't seen their tech. They get a tick and a check, because that, anything to do with like machines and shit like that, will do very well. Decentralized, absolutely not. This is the worst one that I've seen. And they're getting all X's there, 95%. Unless they can explain the reason as to why that is, then nah, triple X Tentacion, that is poor. Next one is one that I've recently brought you that has been doing very well, and that is NodeOps. Now, the good thing about this is not only has it held the price, but market cap is tiny. $13 million. You'll find this in the Binance Alpha wallet. But what a chart. And this has a better trading volume, right, than some of the other bigger projects. Isn't that a shame? So basically what these guys are doing is they're very much in bed with the Dubai scene, Binance and all of that, DePIN very viable computing marketplace. They've actually got a working product. Leading AI-powered DePIN orchestration layer, right? So that is what they are. They're on the BNB chain. They're on the. They're also got Ethereum as well. Let's have a look at this. I think we've already checked this, but I want to show you what the good, the bad, and the ugly is of every single project. So if you look at this, NodeOps is tiny. And top 100 hold supply held by 98%. Supply held by the top 100. So this is as bad as the other one in terms of the decentralization aspect of it. What you are noticing is, as the price came up, it was sold on the 28th of July. Then look at that. Balances have been bought back, and ever since, both balance and price have been holding together. Smart money, 0. Whales, public figures, 0, 0, 0. Of course, highly centralized. That makes it a very big risk. Having said that, are they on decent exchanges as a new project? So let's have a look at their marketplace. Their marketplaces are KuCoin, decent, BitGet, decent, Mexi, decent. So they've got better exchanges than the last one. Okay. For that reason, they are going to get a good score on the market cap. It's a micro cap, $13 million. Their volume is relatively low, but not bad for $13 million. I mean, meme coins do that. Their marketing has been excellent. They are going to different people, and they've been very good so far, especially with highlighting spaces on Binance and stuff like that. Tokenomics is a check, not bad at all. Chains. They're on Ethereum and BNB. They get a star there. Why? Because they're in the Binance Alpha. And that leads us to the exchanges. Yes, I like the exchanges they're on now, but I am looking at the Binance exchanges for the next round. In addition to that, they have holders. Now, look how concentrated it is. It's just unbelievable. But the holders, this is not the whole story, in my opinion. So again, holder count here has to be watched. I'm sure it's bigger than what Nansen are reporting. The tech is a solid tech, in my opinion, because they are an orchestration layer. They're just not claiming to be another cloud computing or something unsexy like that. Is it decentralized? Hell no. Absolutely not. And I would love to get these guys on an AMA, because at the end of the day, we want to know where the tokens are, you know. It's great because it's created a chart that's looking towards the right. So far, they've got the best chart. But I do have question marks in terms of that decentralization. All right, next one is Node GPU. Now, this was a heavily, again, I caught this under 10 cents, I believe. I did a buy lead. I've got a buy lead Node AI in the Discord. And we bought this as a micro cap. And I remember at the time, I actually did a video on this. about potential scams. What is it called? GPU. So this is probably one of the best tickets in the entire industry. Let's close this. Yeah, let's just close that. Where are you? No GPU. So this has been, of course, 300K in volume, but this has been pumping twice in the past. And the reason for that is KOL stacked. Now, tokenomics, excellent. I wonder if they still have the tax. But if we look at this, we can go, okay, GPU. I'm actually looking forward to doing this as I'm doing it with you guys, because the distribution score after heavy whales got out is now way, way better. 31,000 holders, top 100 hold only 22%. Hence, you're seeing both price over here, balances are going up, meaning people are buying this, right? This was horrible last time round because of what? These influencers have dumped their tokens by 38%. Mad. Absolutely mad. So now it's actually, the project it looks way more sexier now, but the whales still hold decent amount. Of course, decentralization score here is absolutely looking very, very juicy indeed. 22%. I can live with that. Relatively good decentralization. So market cap. All right, let's give these guys some. Market cap is good. Volume is low. Marketing is excellent. Becca and everyone else will talk about it. Tokenomics is a superstar because it's so fully diluted anyway. Chains, Ethereum is going to get a lot of money. Exchanges, actually it's on relatively decent exchanges, but it's just not as many as you want. Mexi is decent, CoinX, BingX, I mean, who cares about that? This has been out for a very long time. And for a lot of these projects, it's a deliberate policy not to list, because nowadays projects make more money through the DEX. So why pay the exchanges? Anyway, tech is good. It was one of the first GPU projects, and decentralization gets a tick. So that is Node GPU, well worth buying, especially now compared to before. Natix has done some major business in the Far East with the Uber equivalent of Singapore, right? In May, this was announced, and look at that, as the market was dying, this went on a parabolic sprint, right? So, $17 million market cap, very good, in terms of dilution, tokenomics are not great. The trading volume is low. I don't expect anything else. A lot of these smaller, high risk, high reward projects will not see money flow anytime soon. They will, once they pick up, they will make up your money very, very fast. So this is actually built on Peak, and it is highly centralized. You can see here, 90% supply held by the top 100. What else are we looking at? Huge number of sales. Token balance is now crossing the price, meaning that the price, is being sold a little bit more than before. Token peaked. 15th of August, chunks were being bought. But right now, very, very kind of dormant, silent, quiet, whatever you want to call it. Decent amount of exchanges though. And Gate is the one for volume. Not great, but Gate, KuCoin, and Mexi are very, very good for volume. So let's rate Natix. And I did mine this in the early days as well, and we got into the pre-sale as well, some of us. So market cap is good. Volume is an eternal X for now, because you got to call it how it is. Marketing is usually very good for this project. I have seen the stuff they put out. And of course, tokenomics, I'm not a fan of, but a lot of the DePIN projects do reserve some tokens. So Nansen could be reporting it as a bad centralization. Okay, chains is on peak. That's very good. In terms of exchanges, again, I'm happy with them. Thumbs up. There could be more, of course, that we need to watch. You know, they could be listed on big exchange, so we need to see. But satisfactory so far. In terms of holders, what are we looking at on chain? 8,000 holders. It is very small. Again, this could be good because the projects could grow, but you have to be on the lookout to see whether your project grows or not. Tech is absolutely solid. Like I said, they've announced a massive partnership with the Uber equivalent of Asia. And is it centralized, decentralized? Absolutely not. It is highly centralized. Of course, we need to know where the tokens are. Next, guys, I appreciate the videos long, guys. If you're enjoying this, smash the like button. Next one is Hash AI. And this was a Crypto God John slash Alex Becker joint, kind of like they promoted this. And of course, you can see here prices are volume is incredibly low. Prices are not picking up as of yet. But that's what we're here for, right? We're here for the alpha. So it's on LCX, Mexi. So exchanges are not there. Let's go and see how many millions these cats are holding. Hash AI, 24-hour volume is low. And then if we look at the distribution of money, public figures, i.e. your favorite crypto influencer, is probably out of the project, but it's down by 17%. So maybe it could be balance reduction. However, whale money has moved in and increased the balance by 1.4 billion. Okay. Top 100, 55%. Again, that is a decent compared to some others. Distribution score of 23. And of course, top 100 held, sorry, not 50. They hold 37.57%. So not bad at all. So if I was to score this, I would say Hash AI looks a lot better than before. Very much a tiny market cap considering what they are doing, guys. So if you don't know what this is, Hash AI, look at this. This is the mother of all DePIN, you know, artificial intelligence optimizing crypto mining. So they have their own niche. I do respect projects that just stick to their lane. So that's very good. Volume is, again, nothing against the projects, but Phala is by far showing you what you can do with a Binance type of volume. Marketing for Hash AI, I would probably give them a tick. You know, Alex Becker, Crypto God John, we'll give them a thumbs up as well. So they'll probably go through the KOL routes, even though public figures have been dumping the projects. Tokenomics look excellent, all fully diluted, in my opinion. I think it's fully diluted. Let's have a look. Fully diluted, is it? Yeah, pretty much. Total supply, circulating max. I mean, decent enough tokenomics. But what I do like is they do have a TVL, right? That's another, there's money in the protocol, if so to speak. So tokenomics, I would say, are excellent. And decentralized, yes, to a degree. The tech is a star because, again, like I said, they have their own lane, and that's all you could hope for. The holders are not satisfactory. The project is very, very small. That's where the risk comes from. Exchanges, I'm not happy with the exchanges at all. Very, very small number of exchanges. And of course, it's on Ethereum. Okay, next we move over to Dinex. Now, Dinex and Cliff has been working on stuff. He's over there in America, but the project is up 22% in the last 24 hours. Okay, that's mega, right? 22% in these kind of times. 500,000, 6 million market cap. So it is tiny right now. Now, I do believe Dinex will ultimately wake up when quantum computing comes to the fore. And there's been talks of quantum crashing the likes of the Bitcoin code. Quantum mechanics, quantum computing, you'd hear a lot of those buzzwords but they are, in terms of where they've positioned themselves, they have been at the forefront of this. So what we have here is in the last 30 days. So first of all, you've got balance, sell off, prices going up, and balance is starting to recover now. Okay. Distribution score 83%, nearly 84% centralized. Okay. So the amount held by the medium holder is very small. But what we're seeing is smart money holding their own. And of course, exchanges are slightly down on their balances. Having said that, the price is up relatively high today. I wonder what Cliff is doing over there in the States. So market cap is a micro cap at $6 million. The volume compared to market cap is not bad. $500,000 on a $5-6 million project is not bad at all. In terms of marketing, I do believe they can do more, right? It's a smaller project, but they can do more. And one of the things I like is Cliff does a lot, right? He's with me, but I'm talking about maybe institutional level marketing, big KOLs and that kind of stuff. But he does amazing work in coming out and speaking to the public. They have a superstar tokenomics. I don't have issue with any of their tokenomics. It's almost fully diluted. Chain gets a good tick as well. Exchanges, I know they've got several exchanges. Let's see if there's any other ones that have come. So Biconomy, Gate, BingX, and XT.com. Not bad at all. Decent exchanges there. We could add more, in my opinion. So I'd give it the thumbs up for the exchanges they have for a small project. In terms of holders, what do we have here? On chain here, it says 1,700. But what we need to do with a project like this is to go to the, I can't find the scanner. That's probably why it doesn't show, but I know they have way more holders than what the Explorer. Nansen doesn't pick up some chains for some reason. Their tech is excellent, in my opinion. If they get this, I mean, Cliff has demonstrated a lot of the tech on the channel. And in terms of decentralization, we'd have to look into that because I'm not using the right Explorer for this. So relatively high risk, very, very, very good upside to it if the narrative picks up. Next one is Morphare. Now, Morphare, XMW, and big up to Caveman here, my brother there. It is 36 million, but has been doing very well. Relatively good, decent recovery today. It's been running. And of course, it is in the field, same field as Hash AI, but they do have a physical mining for Bitcoin in South America and eco-friendly this. And there's a lot of that going on, right? So what we have here is the score in terms of decentralization is not bad at all. 29% concentrated in the top 100 wallets. You've got the top 100 wallets increasing, smart money dumping, public figures still holding their own. And of course, I suspect these are some of the big guys, right? Whales have taken their profits and reduced their balance by 4.36%. So knowing that, I believe still on Uniswap, in my opinion, maybe Uniswap, Orbit, okay, shit exchanges. Okay, so let's give this bad boy a grade. Now, can this actually run? Yes, it can. Is it relatively decentralized? Yes, it is. It scores 22%. Do we have, let's go, volume from Dex, because that's really the way you got to look at this. 500,000, not bad at all, right? But for the volume to market cap, actually, I'll take the tick back. It is, for the market cap, it is quite awful, in my opinion. And marketing, I think marketing, they will be coming good. Again, they're using the big influencers to market the project. Chain, Ethereum, tokenomics, good. Tokenomics are good. The chain is good. Exchanges gets a massive fat X. After nearly 1 year out with your project, you have to be listing on more exchanges. It doesn't matter whether they bring volume or not, but you have to get that publicity out. I think these factors lead into each other. In terms of holders, how many holders did we say they have? Very tiny, 7,800 holders. So they could be improving that. But again, if the holder count starts going up, what you want to be doing is fixing your eyes on it. And then finally, is their tech good? Well, like I said, they do have a very, very good offer. Like the other one, Hash AI, Hydro to Hyper Intelligence, right? So this is the Andes. They've revamped this website as well, guys. So this is this is a good project that will take off at some point. In my opinion, as soon as they start listing on exchanges, I think this will do very, very well, in my opinion. I think it's a sleeper. Could be one of those that runs in too fast. All right, we've got the penultimate two, okay? So the first one I'm going to grade is Oort. Now, Oort Cloud is currently sitting at $16 million market cap, up 8% overall. And the chart is due to look like this because of tokenomics misunderstanding. What we need to do is we need to ask the absolute gem that is Nansen.ai to check what is going on with the distribution. Now, remember when I said a lot of these AI projects tend to have rewards, and rewards means they need more tokens as a direct balance. But 82% from what the computer is saying to me is highly centralized. Now, of course, you got to look at this other metric. Balances are going up as the prices are falling. That's good. Somebody's buying, right? Balance up, price falls. Price up, balance stays. So this is being protected pretty much in the current climate of where these small projects are. Now, 15 million of the tokens have been added, 4% to the top 100. And that's probably maybe the team buying back or buy back and burn, whatever that's going on. Now, in terms of the exchanges, in terms of volume, 16 million, 900K, not bad. In terms of markets, BitGet, Mexi, Gate. Gate is a superstar for volume. Gate probably overtakes all of those sooner or later. So what I would say is the same thing that we've been saying with everyone else. The market cap has really recovered from the lows that it had in April. There's an interest there. The volume, not too bad for the market cap. However, actually, you know what? Volume is not great, right? Because I'm thinking it's nearly $1 million for 18 million, right? But volume is not great, but that's because the whole entire, look, all of these, their volume is not great. This is what I consider Phala as definite confirmation of mad volume, right? Even AO is not bad at all. So this is, yeah, relatively, it needs more volume. Marketing, I do believe they are marketing. I know, for example, G's talked about this before. Chain is decent. I'm not worried about the Binance chain at all. Exchanges, sorry, that was tokenomics. Now the tokenomics for me, I had a question mark, but I do believe that a lot of the tokenomics have been revised. So you need to look into that. Chains, we said it is on Ethereum and it's on the Binance chain. Binance chain doesn't have too many projects of high quality, so you should see flow there. Holders, what do we have? We have probably full on chain holders is probably better than that. I just need to look into the holders through the Explorer. Let's see the Explorer. Where are you? Binance, smart chain category. Okay. Yeah, probably holders are a lot more than what the system is reporting. So I'll give them a tick for that. Let's have a look. Exchanges. Yeah, exchanges, we gave them a tick. Holders, I do believe, again, Nansen hasn't picked up the full holders for this one. Their tech is good. Now, in terms of their tech, one thing you have to remember, this is where the project is quite strong. There's a lot of different partnerships, a lot that's going on, and a lot of offerings. Decentralized cloud AI for decentralized computing with a very good backing. I do believe that there's a real company behind this, right? Ready to take DEAI revolution, Oort storage, and of course, you've got all of these guys, SAP, Google Cloud, and all of these other things. So tech-wise, you know, I'm not really like Oort Data Hub, Oort storage, the AI cloud. There's a lot going on there. So from that perspective, I think a lot of these projects have good tech stack and good backing. So we'll give it a star there. And Decentralized, of course, like I said, I need to go and check on the Explorer. And that brings us to the final one, guys. I do appreciate it's been a long video, but there's a lot of alpha that we're getting through. The last but not least is Fluence. Now, why am I talking about Fluence, guys? Fluence is a decentralized serverless platform computed marketplace powered by blockchain economics. Okay, so if you look at Fluence, FLT. There's probably more that I could have added, but of course, this is a very good in-depth video. And this is a horrible chart, but what you have is a $7 million, 35 fully diluted. However, a project that could wake up all of a sudden and do something. Now, you say, why would it do something, DXB? You know, it's not done a lot so far. It's on Gate, decent amount of exchanges. And of course, what we want to know is how centralized Fluence is. Again, there's one that we're currently accumulating in the VIP group, and I can't talk about it right now because the community is buying, but we'll talk about it at some point. So this is a project that has a very bad chart, but it's been accumulated. And this is probably the highest risk, highest reward. Smart money is kind of left. In terms of the decentralization, you got supply with 5,000 holders and 63%, so it's highly centralized. But whale money, whales have been accumulating, public figures have some holdings, and of course, some smart money has done. But over the recent times, I've noticed this trend. Again, the price is all the way down. This is very, very highly risky. And for the majority of things, it does get in terms of market cap, in terms of volume, market cap is a micro cap, but this is dangerous. I would say do not look to buy this right now. Look at the marketing, right? Study the tokenomics and see if they have any news in terms of what happens from here. But it would be one worth watching just purely because I'm seeing a lot of movement in terms of the balances that are going in and out. There you have it, guys. It's been a long one, very, very long video, but I have given you very good list of projects. I do believe Phala can do 20x, maybe 15, 10, 15x is written. I believe Octa can do anything between 25, 30, 50, who knows? AO is a definite runner this cycle. It can do tremendous things. If I had to go and put all of this together into a portfolio, of course I can't do that. You guys know I hold AO the computer, I don't hold Phala. Majority of the others, I hold some, I don't hold the others, but this would do very well with a well-balanced portfolio. All right, guys, a lot of effort has gone into that. There's your micro cap, DePIN projects. Let me know what you think. Smash a like, and I'll see you on the next one.